Ceremonies. CBA coming in after opening with two close losses against West Genesee and Fayetteville Manlius, and rolled off two wins, lopsided wins over Central Square and Jamesville DeWitt to come in with a record of 2-2, and of course the Maroons 3-0 after defeating West Genesee, Jamesville DeWitt, and Central Square. See the 42-0 shutout of the Red Rams from Central Square back on Thursday the 8th. And it'll be, as I said earlier, a quarterback battle. Troy Cherney for the Maroons coming in 21 of 33 on the season, 63% completion ratio, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's carried 19 times for 211 yards and 4 TDs, including 56 and 59-yard gallops against Central Square. Jordan Ray, the sophomore, what a season he's had in his first 4 games. 86 of 151, 57%, 988 yards, 15 TDs, and his two favorite targets, senior Jack Sikowski, 14 catches, 185 yards, and 4 TDs, and Sayer Torrance, 35 catches, 347 yards, and 5 touchdowns for the brothers, and I believe he is on his way to Syracuse to play a little ball, and we wish him well, but not so much today. The Maroons, Eli Benson, who despite 3 fumbles in the first half against Central Square, rumbled for 29 carries, 392 yards, 7 carries, 70 yards, and 1 touchdown against the Red Rams. He has 29 carries, 392 yards, and 5 TDs on the season. And, of course, as Coach said, just a sophomore, so he's got a lot of learning to do. Defensively, Omar Bailey leading the team, the junior with 36 tackles. Connor Mahunik, 25 tackles, 3 sacks, and an interception. And that's not bad for a defensive end. He's also caught 3 balls from his tight end position and has scored a touchdown on offense as well. And Maroons gathering in the end zone. And, of course, we talked about the kicking game. Amelia Bartolotta, after a couple of struggles some struggles in the first 2 games, she did make her first point after against Jamesville DeWitt, and then went 6 for 6 against Central Square and drilled it right down the middle of the uprights. And Eli Benson, he's had some struggles with his kickoffs, but as we mentioned with the coach, he was near perfect against Central Square. He put 6 into the end zone and had 1 go out at the 1-yard line, and 1 was fielded inside the 10, and there was just a short return for the Red Rams. So if Eli can continue that in this game, he'll keep the brothers hemmed in their own territory. So it should be a good one today, and good afternoon for football. Very fall football-like conditions here in this mid-April Saturday afternoon. Winds coming out of the north, and will not be too much of a factor early on. It's not that strong, so we'll see what effect that'll have on these 2 quarterbacks, and I don't think it'll be very much at all. Let's turn things over to the PA announcer and our senior ceremonies.
130th year of Auburn football, to honor commitment, dedication, and hard work of our seniors. We'd also like to thank the families of our seniors for your support and hard work during the career of your son or daughter. We wish all of our seniors and the seniors from Christian Brothers Academy a great finish to your high school athletic and academic opportunities. Thank you to all in attendance, and hope you have a great day. Thank you. And now for the senior football players, with the players thanking their parents and presenting them with a bouquet of flowers. First up, Leon Atkins. Thanks, Leon Atkins and Beth Hazard. Zach Galbelli. Thanks Corey Galbelli, Leon Atkins, and Lindsay Atkins. Demetrius Herndon, thanks Rebecca Herndon, David Herndon, and Dante Herndon. Troy Cherney Jr. Thanks to Troy Cherney Sr. and Kelly Cherney. Player Robert Morris, thanks to Shanika Williams and Dajor Morris and Devon Morris. Amelia Bartolotta, and thanks to Kristen and Matt Bartolotta. Player Davari Agee, and thanks to Adrian and Kamisha Agee. Tremont Daniels, and thanks to Tanya and Dejani Daniels. Next up is your Prue, and thanks to Diane Juzak Prue and Tom Prue. And last but not least, player Mahonik, and Amy and Pat Mahonik.
Well, that is the senior class introductions, I believe. All
And then,
10
ladies and
seniors have
gentlemen,
been introduced, and we're going to step aside for 3 minutes. And we will come back with today's senior game as the Maroons get set to take on the Brothers of Christian Brothers Academy. And we'll be back after this timeout. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Although there are no senior cheerleaders this year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this wonderful afternoon for a day game as the Auburn Maroons host the Brothers of Christian Brothers Academy. Game time is approximately 5 minutes. Thank you. Of the national anthem.
Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, Syria's local attorneys. Steve Penstone with you at Holland Stadium on this Saturday afternoon. Matt Meckley engineering the broadcast at the mothership in Geneva. And a pair of 88s headed out to midfield. The captains, Connor Mahunik for Auburn and Cameron Harris for the Brothers for the coin toss. CBA coming in with a 2-2 record, opening up with a 33-32 loss at West Genesee on the final play of the game. A 34-33 overtime loss against Fayetteville Manlius, and then 21-0 against Central Square and 63-0 against Jamesville DeWitt. The Maroons, of course, 3-0, opening with a 28-15 win against West Genesee, going on the road and defeating Jamesville DeWitt 55-7, and then back on the 8th of April, a 42-0 shutout of the Central Square Redhawks. Auburn is going to get the first possession.
Auburn will receive and CBA to kick off.
CBA declined to the second half. The Maroons will go from right to left in this first quarter. And this first quarter is brought to you by Tompkins Trust, your fully local, totally mobile community bank, and by SUNY Morrisville. A hands-on education is just the beginning at SUNY Morrisville. Learn more at morrisville.edu. Maroons in their home maroon jerseys, of course, white pants, maroon helmets, and the brothers in their white jerseys with gold pants and helmets. Robert Morris and Deshaun Strachan back to receive the kickoff.
Strachan and Morris are deep.
Beautiful afternoon for football. Game time temperature 48 degrees here at Holland Stadium with a bit of a breeze blowing out of the northwest. That'll favor CBA in this first quarter.
Kicking off is
Tristan Cusera will handle the kickoff for the brothers.
Let's go, Auburn! Be ready, front line! Put somebody's face in the dirt!
And we are underway on the senior day. And it's going to be Strachan at the 5. Deshaun to the 15, cuts across vertically and tries to get turned upfield, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds back at the 12-yard line. And Deshaun Strachan trying to go east-west after a little bit of north-south and lost a couple of yards. They'll mark him out actually at the 13, and that's where Troy Cherney will go to work for the first time this afternoon. We saw Deshaun one carry
number 4, Amari
last game, or 3 carries.
First and 10, Auburn.
No, he had one carry, and it was a whopping 13-yard loss. And he's got to try and keep going north-south instead of finding room going side to side. Cherney to pass on first down. First play of the game, he's got to scramble out of the pocket. And now he's going to throw it into the Auburn bench. Robert Morris was in the vicinity, and now a late flag by the referee. Oh, boy. Cherney looked like he might have been outside the tackles, and he's talking to the side judge. Morris was down the field, and the pass was about 10 yards behind him. And they're going to pick this one up. So incomplete pass. And it brings up second down and 10 from the 13. Troy against Central Square had touchdown runs of 56 and 59 yards. Through the area was 7 of 10 for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now he's going to work under center, I formation behind him. And Benson with the carry. He's off right tackle, breaks a couple, and keeps the legs churning. He's out over the 15 to about the 17-yard line. So that's a pickup of 5, and it brings up a third down, 5 to go. Opening drive for the Maroons.
Benson on the carry.
Auburn going right to left with the ball spotted on the far hash mark. Zach Galbally comes in with the play, and Jeremiah Phillips checks out for the Maroons. Three receivers, wide left on the near side of the field. Cherney out of the gun, Benson to his left. Troy to pass, here comes the pursuit, and he steps away. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage and dives forward to just shy of the 20-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of a yard, and it's going to bring up fourth down. And the Maroons are going to go 3 and out on their opening possession.
After a 5-yard pickup by quarterback Cherney, and they bring up fourth down and 5.
Robert Morris stands at his 5 to punt. High snap and a short punt. It's going to land on Auburn's side of midfield, and it'll roll out to the 48-yard line, and Central Square is going to have good field position for their first possession at the Auburn 48.
CBA 48-yard line. Brothers take over first and 10.
So sophomore Jordan Ray goes to work. He comes in 86 of 151 on the season, 57% completion ratio, 988 yards and 15 touchdowns. And he's going to operate out of the gun, sends two receivers to each side of the field. Ball right in the middle on the A at the Auburn 48. Here comes the blitz. And he's got a man open and just past the outstretched hands of freshman Syer Torrance. And that was close to being 6 right off of the bat.
Jordan Ray. Pass is incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Torrance, the leading receiver, 35 catches, 347 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Syer Torrance.
Ball at the Auburn 48. Wind at the back of Ray. Again, two receivers each side. Play action. Quick hitch out to the far slot, and breaking tackles is Sikowski, and Jack Sikowski, the senior, drilled out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Sikowski.
Phillips on the stop for Auburn. That's a CBA first down.
And it's 1st and 10 for CBA at the Maroons 31. Sikowski, 14 catches, 185 yards, 4 TDs for the brothers. And now they send trips right to the near side. And a handoff, and up the middle is Tristan Corfonta, and Corfonta inside the 25 to the 24, so he's going to pick up 7 yards.
So
it's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Ball on the near hash. Corfonta, the sophomore, 38 carries, 191 yards, 2 TDs. And he's also caught 9 balls for 85 yards and a touchdown for the brothers. Trips left, this time to the far side of the field. Ray to pass. 2-step drop and to the near side of the end zone. Intended for Amari Pitts, the sophomore. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Troy Cherney. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On the coverage for Auburn.
3 yards to go with 9:12 to go in this opening quarter, opening drive for the brothers that started at the Auburn 48. Ray's got a nice touch. Only a sophomore. He has Corfonta to his right. Two-step drop, flares it out to the far side, and wide open is Sikowski, and Sikowski down to the 5, and he is knocked out of bounds by Deshaun Strachan. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5 on a 19-yard catch and run by Sikowski. So he's got 2 catches for 36 yards already, and it's 1st and goal for the brothers. And he was wide open in the flat. And Strachan with the touchdown-saving tackle. And there goes Corfonta off the right side, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ray hands off to number 23, Corfonta.
So the brothers get on board with 8:29 to go in the first quarter. It is 6-0, and they've got the trickeration lineup. They're going to go for 2. And now they line up for a point after kick. And it's Cusera.
Cusera's kick is up.
And he puts it up. And it is good.
The Brothers lead it 7-0 with 8:29 left here in the first quarter of play.
So the Brothers go 48 yards in 6 plays, and with 8:29 left in the first quarter, they take a 7-0 lead. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Be back to Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
That was a good time for him to take the shot.
So you want to stick with slot here and work some of that interior? You want to go pro?
Come on, Jabari, give me your body, Jabari.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cusera to kick off for the Brothers. Stretchen and Morris
Come on, DB, 300
back to
right
the
now.
Maroons.
Yeah, I got you.
Number 6,
Demetrius Herndon with the return of the short kick by Cusera out to the Auburn 40. Now they're going to mark it at the 34, pardon me.
Remain on the stop.
So CBA goes 6 plays, 48 yards. And it was Tristan Carfonta, the sophomore, going in from 5 yards out. And the point after makes it 7-0. Troy Cherney will operate under center on the first play from scrimmage, second series. And he'll give it to Eli Benson. He spins to the line and loses the ball. But I think he gets it back again, and he's going to end up picking up 3 yards on that. Eli, of course, had 3 fumbles in the first half against Central Square and did pick up a touchdown in the second half. Ball on the near hash as the Maroons go right to left. Just under 8 minutes to go in this opening quarter. 2nd and 7. And again, Cherney under center. 2 receivers to the far side. I formation. 2-step drop, and he squares it out to Morris. Morris inside the coverage and gets hauled down from behind at the Auburn 45. And that is enough for a first down. 9-yard catch and run by Robert Morris.
27. Morris is complete for a Auburn first down.
And the Maroons get their first down at the first down at their own 46 with 7.5 minutes to go in the opening
Matt
quarter.
Burrow on the stop for the Brothers.
Yeah, I got you.
Morris goes wide right to the far side, Strachan to the near side. Again, the I formation, Cherney under center. Play action, gives it to Benson. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
To Benson, stopped at the line of scrimmage by Cabarese.
Just over 5 minutes gone here in this opening quarter. Second possession for the Maroons. Ball spotted on the far hash. Again, Cherney under center. And Troy to pass on play action. Flares it out to Jeremiah Phillips, and he's wrapped up right away, and that's going to be another no-gainer. Good pursuit and the tackle by Zakowski for the Brothers, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Maybe a yard gain on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
So tough going for the Maroons against this CBA defense here early on. 6 minutes left in the quarter, and the Maroons 3rd and 10 at their 46. Here's Cherney again, play action, rolling to his right, And he's got Morris open and right in and out of his hands at the first down yard marker, and that's going to bring up fourth down, and the Maroons, glorious opportunity there, is going to go for naught as Morris had to go right through the midst. So he will step back around his 35 to punt it into the wind. So here Torrance back around his 25.
Morris back to punt.
And another chip shot by Morris, and that's going to drop and bounce back to midfield.
After a short hit.
So CBA started their first drive at the Auburn 48. This one will be at the 50. And the Brothers lead it by a score of 7-0 with 5:31 to go in this first quarter.
And that second kid's bailing out anyway, so we should be able to block him.
Go defense, make a play.
CBA going left to right. The ball's on the near hash. Three receivers wide left to the far side of the field. Ray out of the gun where he's been all afternoon so far and likely will be the whole time. Pumps once and then dumps it over the middle and almost in and out of the hands of Cameron Harris. And incomplete, makes it second down 10. Good effort by, I think it was Matt Donovan trying to come up with the tip ball.
How was supposed to go, right? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, that's what I was asking, that's all.
Clock stop, 5:24 to go in the opening quarter. Again, the ball on the near hash and trips left to the far side for the Brothers. And flared out to the far side. Here's Jameer Hanford, the freshman, and he is wrapped up in the backfield and is going to lose a yard. And it's Donovan on the tackle for the Maroons. Little swing pass to the freshman who has 5 catches for 17 yards, but he's ran 35 times for 154 and 2 TDs. So the loss on the play is 1.
Come on, Sonny, let go, Sonny. Let's go, D-line.
3rd and 11. 4:45 to go in the quarter. Trips right near side. Ray play action, and here comes the pursuit. He gets away, and he's got some running room down the far sideline, and boy, he gets all the way into Auburn territory and out at the 35-yard line. They had him deep in the backfield, but he just accelerated down the far sideline and picks up the first down.
Picks up a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Auburn 35-yard line.
16 yards for Ray.
No, there was inside pressure there on that one. On that one, I'll spot right in here, though.
And that was a run that keeps the drive alive. Ray coming into this afternoon, 15 runs for 81 yards. And this time he's going to hand it off, and straight up the middle is Hanford, and the freshman all the way down to the 20-yard line. Where are they going to mark him down? Be another first down for CBA as Jameer Hanford just blasted right up the middle, and they'll mark him down at the Auburn 21.
Hanford for another first down for the Brothers.
Well, Coach said they were going to have to be tight on defense, and that run by Ray, and now Hanford with a big run and first down. And here is a touchdown, and wouldn't you know it, I got somebody on the roster with a uniform number on that I don't have on the roster.
21 yards out. Brothers go on top 13-0.
And we've got 3:57 to go in the first quarter, and it is 13-0.
Bull is the holder. Number 30, Casera for the PAT. Kick is up.
And the kick by Kucera is good.
Brothers lead it.
And so with 3:57 to go in the first quarter, it is Christian Brothers 14, Auburn no score. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. Back after this 1-minute timeout. What was his?
Come on now, got yourself a game here. Come on, make it a game.
Coach, we're missing one. All right, we're good now. We're good now.
Meter, coming to you again, Meter.
Casera kicking off for CBA. Strachan and Morris are deep for Auburn.
See, we can run it. Every play we got a missed block. Every play. We haven't had one play we blocked up well.
Robert Morris on the kick return out to about the 30-yard line
Morris on the return.
before he is wrapped up. Davion Irby had the touchdown run for CBA. And the point after by Kucera, they go 50 yards in 5 plays and make it 14-0 with now 3:49 left in this first quarter. And the Maroons giving CBA good field position on their first 2 possessions. The first one at the Auburn 48, the second one at midfield. And now Auburn starts its third possession at its own 28 as Cherney out of the gun. And a handoff to Jeremiah Phillips, I believe that is, and he is wrapped up for a big loss. Check that. That is Daryl Overstreet in.
Overstreet the ball carrier. That's a loss of about 4 yards on that play.
Loss of 4.
And Germain on the stop for CBA.
And second down and 14.
Second down and 14 coming up for the Maroons.
Just over 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Journey to pass. Flares it out to the far side, and that's right through the hands of Deshaun Strachan, and nothing going right for the Maroons here in this first quarter. It's another drop ball and catchable ball. Robert Morris had one on third down on the last possession. And that's going to bring up third down, 14 to go, and the clock stopped at 3:08 left in this opening quarter. Ball's on the near hash. Journey in the gun, 2 receivers each side. Now Morris in motion, low snap. Cherney's got a scramble. And he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss back to the 22. So a 2-yard sack
Low snap from the center.
on the low snap. And the Maroons go 3 and out. And CBA is going to have good field position again unless Morris gets off a booming punt. He skied the first 2. Stands at his 10. High snap. And this is a bit of a low-line drive, and it takes an Auburn bounce and is going to roll inside the CBA 40 to the 39.
Rolls inside the 40-yard line where the brothers take over, 1st and 10.
So the brothers with a 14-0 lead, 2:25 to go in the quarter. We'll have a 1st and 10 at their 39. Ball spotted on the near hash as the brothers go left to right here in this first quarter. 2 receivers each side. And Ray Ray with a handoff. And left side is Irby, and Irby picks up a couple out over the 40 to the 41.
To number 31, Davion Irby.
Check, plug Matty. Plug Matty.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
The initial stop for Auburn.
Second down, 8 for the brothers.
They'll bring up second down and 8.
Let's get Cam out. Get Cam on the outside of the hash.
Sikowski and Harris wide left to the far side. And ready to pass, looking that way, and he's got Harris open. And Harris to midfield and taken out of bounds.
Pass to Harris, number 88, is complete for a CBA.
Isaiah Parkman on the stop for the Maroons, but it's going to be a first down for CBA as they mark Harris out at the Auburn 49. Clock stop with 1:43 to go in the quarter. 3 receivers, wide right to the near side. Ray play action, dumps it over the middle of Harris, and he gets popped by Troy Cherney. Ball's on the ground, and they're ruling it a catch and a fumble on the hit by Cherney. And the recovery by Omar Bailey.
How's that guy over there saying?
And now the officials might overturn this. The umpire was right there and called it a catch and a fumble. And you can hear the fans down below. They're not happy about the officials getting together on this one. It was the far side official that came in and said, no, that wasn't a catch, and it was close. No doubt about it. Yep, and the play stands upon further review, as they say in hockey. The play on the field stands. Auburn has it after the huge shoulder hit by Troy Cherney. Popped the ball loose, and Omar Bailey with the fumble recovery. So the Maroons take over at their 44. And we'll see if they can build on that as Cherney comes under center. And he'll hand it off, and there goes Eli Benson up the middle, and he spins out over midfield and then gets stood up at the CBA 49. 7-yard carry by Eli. And just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Eli, of course, 3 fumbles in that first half against Central Square. And he was hanging on to the football there as he spun through the line of scrimmage. Cherney back under center, 2 receivers near side, I formation behind him. And again, Benson straight up the middle. He's got some room to rumble. And Eli inside the 40 down to the 38. 11 yards for Eli on that carry and a first down for the Maroons. Final minute of this first quarter, and Auburn on a drive. 1st and 10 at the Brothers 37.
1st and 10 Auburn at the CBA 37-yard line.
Ball on the far hash. Chance to get 2 plays in here at the end of the quarter. Cherney under center. And he'll give it to Jeremiah Phillips. And Phillips straight up the middle, and he's inside the 30 to the 28. He's going to be a yard or two, about a yard short of the first down. So Jeremiah Phillips with his first touch.
Second down and about 2.
I'm going to spot it at the
That is the end of the
29-yard line, so Auburn will have a second down, 2 yards to go when we come back with the second quarter action. The score after 1, CBA 14, the Maroons no score. And we'll take a 1-minute timeout, be back with the second quarter of Auburn Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. This second quarter brought to you by the Brew Funeral Home. Call Sam Darling 315-253-6293 and find out about funeral pre-planning and a Versa agency where you want to be when you need an insurance policy. Eli Benson off right tackle, and he is inside the 20 to the 19. And a 10-yard pickup for Benson, flag down.
Get him off the field. Get him off the field.
The back judge tossing the hanky. And a late hit, I believe, on Zach Galbali, if I heard the referee correctly.
All right, Zach, keep your head up, Zach.
It was after the play, so the spot of the foul is the 19 where Benson was brought down after the 10-yard run. And the penalty is going to take the ball out to the CBA 34-yard line.
The penalty was after the play. Okay, you didn't say.
And it's going to be first and 10 from the 34. As they get the chains and the down box straightened around over on the far sideline. Opening seconds of this second quarter, Maroons down 14-0. Cherney's out of the gun. And another flag. And Troy's going to keep it and carry it. And he puts his head down at the 30 and gets down to the 28. But I have a feeling this is going to come back on a penalty against the Maroons. Legal procedure call.
Penalty against the Maroons.
So two penalties by the Maroons. One at the end of the first down run by Eli Benson. And now this on the next play from scrimmage. And all of a sudden they're back at the CBA 39-yard line instead of working inside the red zone after Benson got all the way down to the 19. So first and 15. Just 15 seconds gone in this second quarter.
First down 15 for the Maroons.
Cherney's going to step under center. Toss sweep to Benson, left side. He's got some running room. Back to the original line of scrimmage, still on his feet. Cuts in inside, and he's got a first down and more. Eli Benson all the way down to the 16-yard line. What a run.
Benson, number 22, on a nice
23 yards for Benson,
run around his own left
and
end.
it'll be first and 10 for the Maroons.
And takes it down to the CBA 16-yard line. First and 10, Auburn.
Eli just kept the feet churning, a couple of spins along the far sideline. And the Maroons first and 10, ball on the far hash, going left to right here in this second quarter. And we're still in the opening minute. Here's Benson straight up the middle. And he plows his way inside the 10, all the way down to, looks like about the 6-yard line. And that's going to be right around the first down marker. Now they're going to mark it at the 7, so it's going to be a 9-yard pickup. And it'll bring up second and 1.
Second down and 1.
Jeremiah Phillips, the up back. Benson right behind him. Cherney under center. And this time it's Phillips, and he's wrapped up at the line and nothing doing.
Phillips, the ball carrier.
Leo Tallarico
Taken down short of the
with the stop.
first down marker.
And they'll give him a gain of 1, and so it's going to bring up third and 1. Strachan comes in from the sideline with the play. 2 minutes gone here in this second quarter. Maroons down 14-0 with a third and 1 at the CBA 8. Cherney in the gun. And nobody there as now he's going to go to the end zone. Strachan with it. Touchdown!
Turning fast to number
Well,
one, Sean
Troy,
Strachey.
Troy Cherney turned to his right to hand off, and there was nobody within about 10 yards of him, so he just looked into the front corner of the end zone, finds Deshaun Strachan, and the Maroons get on the board. The touchdown brought to you by Mark's Pizzeria. They treat you like family at Mark's. And Amelia Bartolotta on to attempt the point after. And now we get a flag thrown.
Flag on the field.
And the Maroons call for too many men on the field.
Crew stayed in for Troy, and then we sent Thunder in as well.
It appears too many players on the field.
So they'll back it up 5 yards, and Amelia's going to try it from 23 yards out.
For the PAT.
Cherney to hold, and that is tipped at the line.
PAT attempt has been
And
blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Enzo Kassab, I think, got a hand on that low line drive, but the Maroons get on the board on the 8-yard touchdown toss from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan with 9:43 left in the first half. It is CBA 14 and Auburn 6. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Be back to Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Come on, make a play. Somebody make a play.
Benson kicking off for Auburn.
Give him Coach Cooler. Coach Cooler. There's no rhyme or reason.
Torrance and Schortenmeyer on
Wait for the tight end sometimes to store.
to receive for
You gotta know. I
CBA.
know. I'm saying there's no tendency.
Eli Benson, the kick for the Maroons. And he sends one inside the 10. Syer Torrance on the return, and he's got some blocking down the right side. He's to the 40 and all the way out to the Auburn 40, or the CBA 48-yard line.
Torrance on a nice run back.
38-yard return by Syer Torrance, the freshman.
First and 10 Brothers.
And the brothers will have just over half the field to go once again.
Saving touchdown tackle for Auburn. Brothers, first and 10.
Go defense.
Oh, why isn't Shawnee? Oh, yeah. Got it. 10's out.
A touchdown drive for the Maroons after the fumble caused by Troy Cherney. 56 yards in 10 plays, a couple of penalties against the Maroons. And the 8-yard toss to Deshaun Strachan for the score. And on first down, a hit by Troy Cherney and a flag coming down on the carry
Targeting. That was a clean hit shoulder to shoulder.
by James Bell, I think it was. And
CBA.
Yeah, he did.
Troy just lowered the shoulder like he did on the hit before, and they call it a target to the head.
CBA.
That's a clean hit.
Wow.
Football hit, and he went straight.
Troy's pleading his case, and it's not going to do any good. So they call it helmet contact. And that's going to take the ball all the way down to the Auburn 32. Third penalty against the Maroons in this second quarter.
On that play. Helmet to helmet. 15-yard penalty. First and down, CBA at the 32-yard line.
9:24 to go in this first half, and the brothers with the first down at the Auburn 32-yard line. And wrapped up in the backfield is Davion Irby.
Ray on a handoff to number 31, Irby.
Loss on the play of 6.
A loss of about 5 or 6 yards on that play.
Second down, 16 to go, 9 minutes left in the half.
Ray and Mahonic on the stop for Auburn.
And the ball spotted at the Auburn 38, just inside the far hash mark. 2 receivers to each side for the brothers. Irby to the left of Ray. 3 on the play clock, and he gets it off in time. Looking down the near sideline, and that one is intercepted.
Nice pass is intercepted by number
Isaiah Parkman
21,
stepped in front of the intended receiver, Jack Sikowski. And Hartman with the interception, and the Maroons get the ball back with 8:31 to go in this first half. So the Maroons will have 1st and 10 at their 12.
Auburn 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Journey comes into the huddle with the play. Play clock's down to 10 already. Troy out of the pistol. And he's going to give it to Benson. Eli off right tackle. He's out over the 20 to the 21. Nice rumble by the sophomore. And he's going to pick up 9.
Torrance and Bull on the stop for CBA.
And Eli wrapping that pigskin up.
There's a flag on the field.
We got a flag down and a chop block against the Maroons. 4th penalty of this period.
Maroons.
And that is a tough one. That's going to put them back inside their 10-yard line instead of being out with a 2nd and 1. It is going to be first down, and the ball is spotted at the 6-yard line. So 1st and 16 in the shadow of the Auburn goalposts. And an end around, and here goes to Sean Strachan. He's got a little bit of running room. Strachan turns it upfield and gets out of bounds at the 20. So he's going to pick up 14 yards on that gallop around the left side on a little end around.
20-yard line, that's a big pickup. It'll be 2nd down and about 2.
Good run by Strachan, makes it 2nd and 2. We're under 8 minutes to go in the half. Auburn trailing 14-6 as Robert Morris comes in for Strachan, and now the near side official wants to talk to the referee. And now we're set to resume play. 7:52 left in the half. 2nd and 2 at the 22 for the Maroons. Galbally and Morris come wide right to the near side. Cherney under center with the I formation behind him. Phillips the up back. Benson the tailback, and Eli takes a handoff off the left side. And looks like he's got enough for the first down and a little bit more.
Benson, the ball carrier, picks up enough for a first down. Kasab on the stop for CBA.
So the Maroons with 1st and 10 and just under 7.5 minutes to go in the half. Ball on the far hash. Again, the I formation. And again, it's Benson, this time off the right side. And he steps inside a couple of tackles and is out over the 30 to the 34-yard line. That's going to be close to first down yardage, and that'll be enough to move the chains. So 11 yards for Eli on that one,
Demetrius on the
and a
stop for
couple of
CBA.
brothers down on the turf, pounding the turf after Eli danced
Another first down for
around them.
Auburn.
And Eli Benson's had a good first half running the ball for the Maroons. Under 7 minutes to go. 1st and 10, Auburn 34. Cherney under center. Play action. Rolling left. And now he's going to dump it off, and that one is almost intercepted. Getting in front of Deshaun Strachan was Alex Smith, the junior, to knock it into the CBA bench. The incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 6:38 to go in the half. This drive for Auburn started at the 12 on the interception by Hartman. And a costly penalty. Now another penalty against the Maroons. And holding call against Auburn. That's the 5th penalty here in this second quarter. So that takes it all the way back to the Auburn 20, and the Maroons now with a 1st and 24. 6.5 minutes to go in this first half. Cherney in the gun. And he's going to keep it off the right side, puts his head down, and he's over the 25 to about the 26 for a pickup of, we'll call it 7 out to the 27.
To pick up 7 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down at about 13.
6 minutes left in the half.
Bull and Schortenmeyer on the stop for CBA.
Second and 17 at the 27. Cherney under center this time. 2 receivers near side of the field. 2-step drop and a swing pass, and it is Deshaun Strachan with some room. Strachan cuts it inside, out over the 40 to the 41. So he's going to be 3 yards short of the first down on a nice catch and run.
Smith on the stop for CBA.
Benson for a play. It's 3rd and short.
Good effort by Cherney and Strachan.
Stuck last time.
They hooked up on the touchdown pass. And now Deshaun with the yards after catch gives Auburn a 3rd and 3 with 5 minutes to go in the half. Cherney under center. And it's Jeremiah Phillips, and Phillips still on his feet, and they're going to mark his forward progress, it looks like, at the 45, and that is enough for a first down on a 4-yard carry by Phillips.
And Phillips has enough with the first.
And that keeps the drive alive with 4:45 and counting left in the half. 1st and 10 Maroons at their 45. Drive started at the 12, and they've gone up and down the field on 4 penalties on this drive. Pardon me, 3. 5 penalties in this quarter. Cherney under center with under 4.5 minutes to go. And wrapped up in the backfield, looks like Deshaun Strachan out of the tailback spot. And the loss on the play is going to be 2, make it 3. No, they'll call it 2, back to the 43-yard line. So a loss of 2, and it's 2nd down and 12.
Smith, Jermaine, and Casar on the stop for CBA. Bring up 2nd down and 12.
3:45 and counting left. Benson still on the sidelines for the Maroons. Cherney out of the gun. Play action. Has some time and flares it out to the near side. Caught by Strachan, and he's going to have a first down into CBA territory to the 42-yard line.
Number 8, Strachan.
15-yard catch and run for Deshaun.
That's another Auburn first down.
And the Maroons keep the drive going, 3:20 and counting. And a 1st and 10 at the CBA 42. And a timeout called by Christian Brothers Academy. 3:15 to go in this third quarter. And the Maroons will have first and 10 at the CBA 42, trailing 14-6. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back with Auburn Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
First down, right hash.
3 minutes, 15 seconds left in the first half. Auburn first and 10 at the CBA 42-yard line on a drive that started at the 12 after the interception by Isaiah Parkman. And Troy Cherney will work under center on first down. Benson back in at the tailback. He'll take it. Toss sweep off the left side following Phillips. And now he's going to be knocked down in the backfield by Jake Germain. And the loss on the play is going to be 5 yards.
Loss of about 5, but it'll be second down.
Second and 15 as the clock runs under 3 minutes. 2:50 and counting to go in the half.
46-yard line.
That backer flex now, so that's the adjustment I think they made out of slot. That this backer now is flexing out for a lead pass. Let's take a look.
Ball on the far hash. Cherney's going to work out of the gun. Benson behind him. Phillips to his right. 2 receivers to the near side. Play action. Troy has the scramble. Steps up in the pocket and launches it down the field to Strachan. Over his head, incomplete.
And his pass is incomplete to
So it brings up 3rd and 15. Clock stopped at 2:21 to go in the half.
Strachan.
CBA scored on their first 2 possessions. It started at the Auburn 48 and that midfield. Maroons came back with a drive. 10 plays, 56 yards, and 8-yard touchdown pass from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan here in the second quarter. And Cherney to pass, and he flares it out to Strachan. And the halfback option play, and wide open is Galbally inside the 20. Zach Galbally has the ball stripped away. Galbally had the ball stripped out of his hands at the 12-yard line after the halfback option by Deshaun Strachan. And a costly turnover.
CBA takes over, first and 10.
Galbally was wide open, took it down inside the 15. And that could be a game changer. .208 to go in the half, and the Brothers will have a first and 10 at their 12.
Timeout on the field.
And now Auburn has called a timeout. So after the turnover, CBA will have first and 10 at their 12-yard line, leading 14-6 with 2:08 to go in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break. Be back with Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Well, the trick play by the Maroons worked, and the end result, unfortunately, after Zach Galbally got stripped of the ball at the CBA 12-yard line, stopped a drive that was filled with a few penalties against the Maroons, but they were in a good position until Galbally had the ball yanked away from him. And we've got 2:08 to go in the half. CBA up 14-6. And we'll see what they want to do here with some time on the clock. Three receivers wide right to the far side of the field. Ray out of the gun. He's been there all day long. And he's going to flare it out into the far side. And that ball is dropped by Davion Irby. And Robert Morris had a chance for the ball. Couldn't come up with it. And Irby had it go in and out of his hands. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Irby had the second touchdown for the brothers in that first quarter. Clock stopped 2:03 to go in the second. As again, trips right to the far side. Irby to the left of Ray. And Irby takes the handoff and he dances up the middle, has some open room, gets a block, and he is out over the 25 and driven out of bounds at the CBA 30. And a good run by Irby gives CBA a 1st and 10 and stops the clock with 1:55 left in the half. 18 yards for Irby. Under 10 on the play clock. And Ray gets it off in time. And he has the scramble. Mahunik wraps him up from behind. And the toss out to the far sideline intended for Harris falls incomplete. Good pursuit by Connor Mahunik. Looking for his 4th sack. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. The clock stopped with 1:50 to go in the half. Brothers break the huddle with now 10 seconds left on the play clock. Ray not in any hurry to get the play off. The clock stopped with 1:50 to go. And he is not going to get the play off, and it's going to be a delay of game penalty, and I believe that is the first penalty against the brothers.
Timeout on the field, CBA.
Well, I got the timeout called just in time, apparently. So no penalty, and with 1:50 left in the half, we'll step aside for 30 seconds. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport in Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 14-6, CBA with a lead over the Maroons. This is Maroons football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Defense.
1:50 left in the half. CBA with a 2nd and 10 at their 30. Ball on the near hash. And Ray with the end around toss to Sire Torrance, and Torrance is out over the 35 to the 37, 38 yard line. Now they're going to mark it now at the 37. So the pickup is 7 for Torrance. Under a minute and a half to go in the half. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Ray all alone in the backfield, and he takes the snap, straight drop. Here comes the pursuit, and he airs it out into a crowd, and 2 Maroons come together, and then a late flag. And Demetrius Herndon is slow to get up as he collided with one of his teammates. I'm not sure who it was.
Flag on the field called against Auburn.
And the back judge with the flag, and I don't know what they're calling this, but there was no pass interference there at all. You have got to be kidding me.
Pass interference called against Auburn.
Even the CBA coaches can't believe this one. That ball was underthrown by about 5 yards. 2 Auburn players collided, and the flag comes from the deep official. And it's going to be 1st and 10 CBA at the Auburn 48 with 1:05 to go. Play action and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Sikowski, coming on the inside route from the far sideline. Stops the clock with 1:01 to go and brings up 2nd and 10 at the Maroons 48. Ball just inside the far hash mark. 2 receivers each side for the brothers. Ray letting the play clock wind down, now takes the snap, dumps it off to the near side, and Irby is wrapped up right away and then dropped for a loss. And there's Omar Bailey with another of his team-leading tackles, and he gets some help from Isaiah Parkman, who had the interception on the last drive. And the loss takes the ball all the way back to the CBA 48.
And that is a loss of about 4 on that play to bring up.
Final half minute of the half, and a 3rd and 13, looks like. 14 make it from the CBA 48. Ray letting the play clock wind down. Now he takes the snap, hands it off to Irby, and he's wrapped up again. And again, it's Omar Bailey, and back to the line of scrimmage. And that is going to do it for the first half. So at the half, it is Christian Brothers Academy 14, the Auburn Maroons 6. And we'll take a break and be back with the halftime presented by Michaels and Smolak, Sirius local attorneys. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football, coming to you live from Holland Stadium on 1590 AM, 98.1 FM WAUB, and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com. 3 minutes, Matt. Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak. Serious local attorneys. Steve Penstone at Holland Stadium on Senior Day, final home game of this shortened season for the Maroons. And at the half, they trail the Christian Brother Academy Brothers by a score of 14-6. And the game started off with the Maroons with the football, and they go 3 and out. A short punt by Robert Morris gives CBA their first possession at the Auburn 48-yard lines, and they go 48 yards in 6 plays. And it was sophomore Tristan Corfanta running it in from 5 yards out. The point after by Cusero was good, and right off the bat, the Maroons in a 7-0 hole. Their next drive also stalled deep in their own territory, and another Morris punt down at the midfield stripe. And 5 plays later, it was Davion Irby going in for the touchdown run. And again, the point after by Cusero to make it 14-0. But then after Troy Cherney caused a fumble, the Maroons took over at their own 44-yard line. And 10 plays later, they had gone it was actually more than 10 plays because of a number of penalties in the drive. But they capped it off on a touchdown pass 8 yards from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan. Amelia Bartolotta's point after attempt was blocked, and it was 14-6 on the first drive of the second quarter. That is where the score stood through the rest of the quarter, as Isaiah Parkman had an interception deep in Auburn territory at the 12-yard line to stall a CBA drive. And then on a great halfback option play, Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan to Zach Galbally, and Galbally all the way down to the CBA 12-yard line where he was stripped of the football. And so CBA prevented a touchdown, and that remains the 14-6 score at the half here at Holland Stadium this afternoon. A lot of penalties in that second quarter for the Maroons, and some of them I don't believe. And as you may have heard, the coaches in the background, they didn't believe, and that's coaches from both sides, that the Maroons deserve some of those ones, especially that last pass interference call that didn't result in anything consequential against the Maroons. Reminder, we do have one more game on the schedule, and it is Wednesday night at 6 o'clock at Fayetteville Manlius to wrap up the season for the Maroons. And that game is going to be weather dependent. I'm looking at the advanced forecast, and it's looking for rain on Wednesday, and that is the case. If that is the case, it is likely we are not going to be bringing that game to you because I have been denied permission to set up in the press box. I can set up in the stands, but unfortunately with the electronics, obviously, I'm not going to be able to do it in the open if it is raining. So we'll have to see. I'm going to check with the school to see if they might bend the decision earlier at the start of the season about not letting us in to the press box, and if not, and if it is raining on the Wednesday, chances are we will not be bringing you that last game of the season against FM. We hope to do it, but it's just going to depend on Mother Nature, really, when you think of it. So we'll see, and we've got a half of football left here at Holland Stadium, barring overtime, and it is CBA 14 and Auburn 6. And we'll take a timeout, be back with the second half on Senior Day and the last day of the regular season at Holland Stadium. You're listening to Maroons football, this halftime report presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. Back after this 3-minute timeout, Maroons football coming to you live on WAUB and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com. Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak. Serious local attorney Steve Penstone with you at Holland Stadium. Troy Meckley engineering the broadcast from the mothership in Geneva this afternoon. Christian Brothers Academy with a 14-6 lead over the Maroons as we get set for a third quarter action, and Troy Cherney getting his right hand iced up by the training staff here at halftime. He's had a solid game, throwing the touchdown toss to Deshaun Strachan. A couple of big hits on the defense, one that caused the fumble that was recovered by the Maroons. You heard the coach say that Troy, as a quarterback, probably one of the top three in all of his time coaching here at Auburn. And, of course, he's going to play Division I football at Long Island University in the fall, assuming there is college football in the fall. CBA will have the ball to start the second half. Just waiting for both teams to hit the field. Reminder, like I said, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, the Maroons will wrap up the season at Fayetteville Manlius, a game we hope to bring you, weather permitting, or whether or not we can get inside the press box at FM. I seem to recall it is a rather substantial press box, so I'm not sure why there wouldn't be room for me. But be that as it may, if that's the case, if it is raining, it's doubtful we're going to be able to bring you the game, but we certainly hope that we can. Maroons will defend the end zone to the left at the north end of the field. They'll have the wind at their back for the third quarter. Just trying to get some stats from that first half. Eli Benson, 5 carries for 70. 5 carries, 76?
No, 11 carries.
Oh, 11 carries, sorry. Yeah.
Jack, come on, Jack.
Hmm.
Make a play, Jack.
And Troy was
8 with 38 yards.
8 completions, 38 yards, and a TD for Troy.
And here we go at the start.
And Benson is going to kick it off.
Number 22, Benson, kicking off for the Maroons.
And Eli's kick is going to be fielded by Irby, and Irby has a block, and he is out over the 40, still on his feet to the 45, all the way out to the 46. And Irby with about a 35-yard return, giving CBA excellent field position, which they've enjoyed most of the afternoon. Daniels on the stop for the Maroons as Irby got a block downfield and just sped down the right side all the way out to his 46-yard line.
Come on, defense.
So the defense will have to go to work right off the bat here against sophomore quarterback Jordan Ray, who had a pretty good first half. Ray's been in the shotgun all afternoon long, and a quick hitch pass out to the near flat and out over the line of scrimmage to the 49 for a 3-yard catch and run was Syer Torrance, the freshman.
The stop for Auburn.
Torrance coming into this afternoon, 35 catches, 347 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's also had a pick-6 interception on defense. Ball on just inside the near hash, and handoff, and breaking into open territory is Tristan Corfonta, and Corfonta all the way down to the Auburn 30-yard line. So that's going to be a 20
Phillips and stretching on the stop for Auburn.
21-yard pickup for Corfonta.
First and 10 at the Auburn.
He had the opening touchdown on the first drive for CBA, and it's first and 10 for the brothers at the Maroons 30. And this time it's a keeper by Ray, and Ray to the line of scrimmage and no more, as he is wrapped up and dropped by Jeremiah Phillips. They're going to mark him down at the Auburn 31, so the loss on the play is going to be a yard. And that
Loss of about 1 yard.
should qualify as a sack for Jeremiah Phillips.
Come on, defense!
Good pursuit by Jeremiah. And it brings up 2nd and 11. Ball on the near hash. Minute and a half gone in this third quarter. Ray looking right. Here comes the blitz, and that pass is knocked down by Demetrius Herndon as Ray got decked by Connor Mahunik as he let go of the ball. Pass was intended for Amari Pitts, but good coverage by Herndon. And that brings up 3rd and 11
Come on, defense!
at the Auburn 31.
Come on, Ace! Come on, Ace! Coming at you again, Peter! Peter, coming at you again, Peter!
Ball on the near hash as the brothers go right to left here in this third quarter. Opening drive. Trips right to the far side. And Ray looking that way. Here comes Mahunik again. Ray steps up inside. Now has to scramble away. Dumps it off over the middle and incomplete. Good effort by Jack Sikowski, the senior, as he dove for the ball and just could not hang on. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And good defense by the Maroons. After Corfonta ran 21 yards. A sack by Phillips and 2 incomplete passes. And brothers are going to go for it on 4th and 11.
Ball! Come on, Elijah! Come on, defense! Come on, Jack, make a
Big play here for the Auburn defense.
Coming at you!
10 on the play clock as brothers send 3 wide right to the far side. And Ray rolling right. Morris with the pursuit and dumped off incomplete. And Morris helps Ray up off of the turf. The incomplete pass turns the ball over. Auburn with some good defense after the kickoff return by Davion Irby. And they will take over 1st and 10 at their 31. Maroons have the wind at their back here in this third quarter.
Run it towards the jammed up side, though.
I formation behind Cherney, who's under center.
Might have this, though.
And the handoff to Eli Benson, straight up the middle, out over the 35 to the 40. First down yardage and about a yard more to the 42. And Eli Benson on his first carry goes for 11. 12th carry of the afternoon. 87 yards for Eli and a 1st and 10 for the Maroons at their 42. Now Cherney in the gun. Benson behind him. He'll take the toss. Left side has some blocks, turns upfield. And over midfield into CBA territory, close to first down yardage. Looks like 9 again for Eli, and it'll be 2nd and 1.
First down run by number 22.
Hard to remember that Eli Benson, just a sophomore, and he has had a coming out season.
Bring up 2nd down and short.
Coming into tonight, 29 carries, 392 yards, and 5 touchdowns. had 7 runs for 70 yards and a touchdown against CBA. Unfortunately, he fumbled 3 times in the first half. Now he's got it again. Toss sweep right side. And he is inside the CBA 45 to the 44. So that's a pickup of 4, and he'll bring up 2nd and 6. Now they make it at the 43 now. So 5 yards and the 2nd and 5.
On the stop for CBA. 2nd down and 5 for Auburn.
Just over 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Ball on the near hash as the Maroons work left to right. Cherney under center. And Benson up the middle this time. And he rumbles inside the 40 and gets stacked up about a yard short of the first down at the 39. So Eli left, Eli right, Eli up the middle.
CBA. Bring it to gain of 4.
And it brings up 3rd and 1. Cherney back under center, again the I formation. And Troy's going to keep it, and he rumbles inside the 35 to the 33, and that'll be a first down, make it the 34. Troy got cheated out of a yard there by the looks of it, but it is a first down. Ball at the 34-yard line. This drive started at the 31 when the brothers turned it over on downs. Cherney works out of the gun. Phillips to his left, Benson to the right. Little crisscross play action pass. Cherney with lots of time. And now he's got to scramble. And too much time as he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss. And his forward progression will be the 39, so the loss on the play is going to be 7. Troy waited too long. He should have dumped that one off as he was well outside the tackles. And the sack is going to bring up 2nd down and 17. 6.5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
You bring up 2nd down and 17.
Good coverage downfield by the brothers secondary, and Troy didn't find the time or the space to get the ball away.
Tell him to get the trips. Tell him to get. We got time. We got time.
A little confusion. Jeremiah Phillips thought he was coming off. Now he's back on the field, and we're good to go. Trips left for the Maroons. And Benson takes the handoff right side, follows his block, and he is back close to the original line of scrimmage. They're going to be down just shy of the 35-yard line of CBA, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 12. Or pardon me, 3rd down and 12.
We'll bring up 3rd down and about 12.
5th carry of the drive for Eli. And a big 3rd down here for the Maroons. 3rd and 12 from the CBA 36. Ball on the near hash again, trips left. And a play action dumped off to Deshaun Strachan. Strachan steps inside a tackle. He's got a first down and more. Headed to the end zone. Deshaun Strachan. Touchdown, Auburn. And no flag on the field. 36-yard pass and run from Cherney to Strachan. Deshaun's 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And it is 14-12.
Auburn touchdown. And the Maroons trail 13-12.
Great run after the catch by Deshaun Strachan. And he got some blocks down the far side. And the Maroons are going to go for 2 to try and tie it up. Cherney in the gun. Has time. Now he's got to scramble. Flag comes down, and I think it'll be a holding call as he dumps it in the end zone. And incomplete. Galbali and Mahunik were in the vicinity, and we'll wait to see what the flag is. I think it may be going against CBA. No, it is against Auburn. It is declined. And so the touchdown catch and run from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan. Strachan's second touchdown of the afternoon. The point after attempt is a 2-point conversion attempt, no good. And with 5:10 to go in the third quarter, it is CBA 14, Auburn 12. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back to Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
No good, and the Brothers lead 14-12 with 5:10 left here in the third quarter of play.
Keep sticking it tall. Keep sticking it tall. Come on, keep fighting it. Keep fighting it. All right, pick up. Good run, Nate. Good run, Nate. Sorry, that's kick all day.
Benson, short kickoff is
Eli Benson with a bit of a squib kick, and Sierra Torrance dives on the ball for CBA at his 30-yard line. And that's where the Brothers will take over with 5:08 to go in this third quarter.
Come on, Nate. Come on, Nate. Make a play, Nate.
8-play drive for the Maroons has started at their 31-yard line. 5 carries by Eli Benson, and then the 36-yard pass and run touchdown, Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan. Second time they've hooked up here this afternoon. The 2-point conversion attempt no good, and it's 14-12 CBA. 5:08 to go, third quarter, and on first down for the Brothers. It is Irby off the right side for a yard, maybe 2. Jack Pidlipchak with the tackle for the Maroons.
Jack on the staff for Auburn.
They'll spot it at the CBA 32.
Second down and 9 coming up for CBA.
Irby scored on the touchdown run in the first quarter to make it 12-0, or 13-0, pardon me. Point after made it 14-zip. And it's now 2nd and 8 for the Brothers. Ray, right side, and that one is behind Amari Pitts, and Pitts got one hand on it, couldn't pull it in as he slid to the turf.
Number 4, Pitts. Third down and
So that brings up 3rd down and 8. Clock stop, 4:27 to go in the third. Maroons defense stiffening up here in this second half. They had a great stance on their first drive. CBA started at the 46. Big run by Corfonta of 21 yards, and then it was a sack by Phillips and 3 incomplete passes, and the Brothers turned the ball over on downs. Here's Ray on 3rd down, long pass, and that is caught. And a race to the end zone, and Zakowski is finally dragged down by Phillips inside the 10-yard line, and Ray put that right over the shoulder of Zatkowski as he got behind Phillips.
And the coverage for Auburn, and that takes the ball down.
And it's going to be 1st and goal at the Auburn 9.
1st and goal for CBA.
Come on, defense.
60-yard pass and run. Ray to Zatkowski. And Ray out of the gun. 3 receivers wide right to the far side of the field. Pitts to the near side. And there is the handoff straight up the middle. It's Irby to near the goal line down at the 1-yard line. As he is wrapped up by Omar Bailey, or pardon me, Jap Lipchak.
Down to about the 1-yard line.
And it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Bailey. It'll be 2nd down. And about
Jordan Ray, the
1
sophomore, with the
touchdown.
perfect pass to Jack Sikowski, the senior, and Sikowski rumbled all the way down to the 9-yard line, and then Irby goes to the 1, and it's 2nd and goal. 3:20 and counting left in this third quarter. And wrapped up in the backfield was Irby.
Holy shit, that was 2 seconds after 0.
And we're under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the ball spotted just inside the 5-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and goal.
Come on, defense!
Ball spotted on the near hash mark.
There's a loss of 4 yards on that play. We'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Yeah.
Under 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Ray with Irby to his left. And he'll throw it to the far corner of the end zone, and that's out of bounds, incomplete with 2:13 to go, and it's going to bring up 4th and goal.
Ray's pass is incomplete.
Oh, wait.
See, if we stop here, it's going to be under 5.
This is fourth.
So we'll see if the defense
We'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
can stall this drive for the brothers. 2:13 to go in the third quarter. Maroons back to within 2, and a big 4th down gamble by CBA. Ball at the 5, near hash. 2 receivers each way. And Ray having a look, and he is going to be wrapped up as he throws to the end zone and almost caught by Pitts. And incomplete, and the Auburn defense does it again. And Pitts is down on the turf at the goal line. And we've got an injury timeout, and the Auburn Maroons defense stiffens. They'll take over when we come back from this timeout, brought to you by the Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. Back in 30 seconds. This is Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. .205 left in the third quarter. This third quarter of Auburn Maroons football brought to you by Costa's Bar and Grill, your home away from the Dome, and Lions National Bank. Discover banking that's all about people. CBA sophomore Amari Pitts got all twisted up on that incomplete pass and is just now being helped up by the CBA training staff. Still examining him. He's now sitting up at least. His helmet is off. So while they continue to look at him, we'll step aside for another 30 seconds. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 2:05 to go in this third quarter. CBA 14, Auburn 12. This is Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Amari Pitts helped off the field by a couple of teammates, putting little or no weight on his right leg, and hopefully nothing too serious. So we have 2:05 left here in the third quarter, and the Maroons will take over on downs at their own 5-yard line. Second time this afternoon the brothers have turned the ball over on downs. And Cherney steps under center, and we're set to resume play. He'll give it to Benson. Eli off the left side and spins
off the left side.
ahead for 2 or 3. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like about the 8-yard line, so a pickup of 3.
Second down and 7.
No. Trey out.
Corfato on the stop for CBA.
1:40 and counting left in the third quarter. 36-yard pass and run touchdown from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan here in the third. Getting the Maroons back to within 2 points, 14-12 after the missed 2-point conversion. And here's Benson on second down off the right side and cuts up and gets out over the 15, and that'll be enough to move the sticks and give the Maroons a little bit of breathing room with 1:16 to go in the quarter.
Initial stop for CBA. And
8 yards on that carry for Benson.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, see, they're squeezing the shit out of me. I mean, Benson's doing a hell of a job just kicking dudes, and they were wheeling it.
18 carries for 119 yards for Eli. And we're in the final minute of the third quarter.
17-yard line.
Cherney out of the gun. And a play action, he'll keep it. Runs up the middle off the right side, out over the 20 to about the 22, 23. And he's going to have a pickup of 7 on that carry. Troy, of course, with 2 50-yard plus touchdown gallops against Central Square a week ago Thursday.
On the stop for CBA after a gain of
And Troy
second down and 3.
may let the quarter come to an end. And that is what he is going to do. So the Maroons get the only score of the third quarter, and we'll head to the fourth quarter with CBA with a 14-12 lead on the final home game for the Auburn Maroons. And we'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back with fourth quarter action. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football exclusively on 1590 AM, 98.1 FM WAUB, and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Win the fourth quarter, dear. Win the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They're just slanting and moving and pinching. Not a lot we can do.
Come on, let's go. Come on, Auburn. Win the fourth quarter here. Come on, 7. Your time, 7.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Your time right here, 7.
Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. This fourth quarter brought to you by Cuga Health, the right care right here, and HEP Sales. HEP is here to help. Auburn with a second down, a long 2 to go at their 23-yard line as they flip around and go right to left here in this fourth quarter. Troy Cherney out of the gun, trips left, ball on the far hash. And Troy's going to keep it. Ducks his head, and he is going to be well short of the first down, maybe a yard, if that, and that's going to bring up
1 yard on that play.
third down and 2. Eli Benson, 18 carries, 119 yards for the Maroons through the first 3 quarters.
Come on, O-line.
Cherney with 2 touchdown passes to Deshaun Strachan. One of 8 yards, one of 36 here in the second half. First one was in the second quarter, pardon me. And Cherney works out of the gun on third down. Strachan takes it on the end around. Cuts up the field, gets a block, and Deshaun out over the 32, the 31, and that's enough to move the sticks by an additional 5 yards.
Just have enough for a Auburn first down.
And we got a flag on the play. Also got an injured player down, Deshaun Strachan, down on the turf in front of the Auburn bench. Oh, no flag on the play, but with the injury, we'll step aside for 30 seconds. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. Back after this 30-second timeout, this is Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Well, Deshaun Strachan helped to the Auburn bench. I saw him come out from halftime, and he came kind of skipping over to the bench, and I wasn't sure if he was just skipping or whether he was coming over because of some problems with one of his legs, but he got tackled hard at the end of that run that gave the Maroons a first down, and we'll see if he comes back. We've got 11:05 left in regulation time. The Maroons trailing by 2, 14-12 with a 1st and 10 at their 31-yard line. Troy under center. And the handoff to Jeremiah Phillips. Jeremiah out over the 30 and out near the 35. They'll mark him down at the 35-yard line, so it's going to be a pickup of 4. And we'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Phillips the ball carrier. With the gain of 4
Zach
yards on that
Galbalian in place of Strachan. He'll split wide right to the far side. Morris comes to the near side. I formation behind Cherney. Phillips the up back. Benson at the tailback spot. And Eli takes the toss sweep around the right side following Phillips. Cuts inside. And he is out close to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a pickup of 5. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. 19th carry, I think, for Benson, 124 yards.
Bring up 3rd down and 1.
And with 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, it's 3rd and 1 Maroons at their 40. Ball on the far hash. Maroons going right to left here in the fourth quarter. I formation behind Cherney. Quick snap, and he dives ahead, and he's got enough for the 1st down.
That appears to be enough for an Auburn 1st down.
Deshaun Strachan getting his right ankle looked at by the training staff. Looks like they're trying to tape it up or remove the heavy layer of tape that's, yeah, they're removing the layer of tape that's already there. 1st and 10 Maroons at their 41. Play action. Benson right side with it, and he is out close to midfield, stopped at about the 48-yard line, so that's going to be a pickup of 7, looks like, as Eli adds to his numbers.
Kowalski and Torrance on the stop. And that appears to be a gain of about 7 yards.
131 yards for Benson here this afternoon. Had 70 yards on 7 carries against Central Square with a touchdown, but he also had 3 fumbles in the first half. Cherney now out of the gun. Quick hitch pass out to the near side to Morris. Morris gets wrapped up, and he's going to lose yardage, maybe a yard, as they mark his forward progress at the 47. So the loss on the play is 1.
We'll bring up third down and about 4.
3rd and 4 from the Auburn 47-yard line as Morris hobbles off to the sideline. Galbally comes out as well. 2 tight ends set. 3 back set behind Cherney. Big 3rd down. And there goes Davari Agee. And Agee rumbles over midfield. Still going, dragging tacklers all the way down to the 42-yard line. And an Auburn first down. Davari Agee rumbling his way into CBA territory. They'll spot him down at the CBA 43. Ten yards for Davari on his first carry of the afternoon. You're one of the fans down there all day saying, put Davari in, put Davari in. Well, he gets in and he runs for 10. Now he's lined up in the offset I formation. And he gets it again, right side, gets stacked up at the line, keeps the legs churning, and inside the 40. And that's about 4 of his 5 yards after initial contact, and it's going to bring up a second down and a long 5 to go as CBA takes a timeout with 7:14 to go in the fourth quarter. The Maroons trailing 14-12, but on a drive, and they'll have a second down in CBA territory when we come back from this 30-second timeout on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
I might go with it. They're selling out right now. They're changing the whole D. Yeah, do it. All right. Yep.
The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. Auburn Maroons with a second down and 7 at the CBA 40-yard line. This drive started at the 23. Tenth play of the drive coming up. And again, the 3-back set. Cherney under center, 2 tight ends. And again, Davari Agee, and he's stacked up at the line, and nothing doing this time.
May have got to the line of scrimmage.
So that'll bring up 30. He loses a yard back to the 41. And a big 3rd down here, 3rd and 8. 6:50 and counting left in regulation time. Maroons trail by 2. Down 14-0 at the end of the half. Got the only score in the second and the third quarter to get back into it. Cherney under center. And play action. He had Mahunik open. Now he's got to scramble out of the pocket, and he's going to have to run out of bounds way back near midfield. There's good coverage downfield. The play was intended to go to Connor Mahunik, but he was blanketed by Syer Torrance, the freshman. And that loss is going to bring up a 4th down and 15 to go from the CBA 48. And a timeout called by the Maroons. They want to talk this over with 6:23 left in regulation time, trailing 14-12. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 30-second break and back with more on Auburn football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. 6:23 left in this fourth quarter. Auburn trailing CBA 14-12 and facing 4th and 14 at the Brothers' 48-yard line. And it'll be a punting situation. Morris at his 40. And this is a good line drive kick. And it takes a good Auburn roll inside the 15-yard line and is down at the 14. So Robert Morris, after a couple of sky-high punts in the first half, with a good one right there.
Morris's kick is down.
And the Auburn defense is stiffened up here in this second half. We'll see if they can do it again as the Brothers take over at their 14-yard line with 6:12 to go
Possession, 1st and 10.
in regulation time. Sean Strachan's still on the bench, and he is looking like he's getting ready to try and get back in when the Maroons get the ball back. Sophomore Jordan Ray again in the gun. He's been there all afternoon. And there is the handoff. And a big run for Davion Irby. Irby still on his feet, and he's out over the 40. Irby to the far side and out of bounds at midfield. 36 yards for Davion Irby.
On a 36-yard run.
And an injured Maroon down at the end of the play.
Started down for Auburn.
And with the injury on the field, we'll take a timeout. Brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 5:59 to go in regulation time. CBA will have a 1st and 10 at midfield when we return, leading Auburn 14-12 on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Matt, why don't you take another 30 here? Looks like he may be down for a bit. Take another 30, please. Tremont Daniels, the injured Maroons player, but he's up and able to walk off. Walking rather slowly, but walking under his own steam, which is obviously good to see. The senior, one of the 10 seniors honored today. But after that 36-yard run by Davion Irby, CBA has a 1st and 10 at midfield with 5:59 to go in regulation time and a 14-12 lead over the Maroons.
CBA 1st and 10 at midfield.
Brothers going left to right here in this fourth quarter. Ray in the gun, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 backs, 1 on each side of them. And it is Irby in the backfield, and he is wrapped up for a loss of a couple.
31 Irby, the ball carrier.
Well, they'll mark him at the 49, so the loss is 1.
Down for a short loss.
Galbelli on the stop for the Maroons. 5:40 and counting left in regulation time. 2nd and 11.
Second down to 11.
Ball on the far hash mark. Pitts is back in after getting injured. He goes wide left to the far side. Zatkowski comes to the near side. Ray letting the play clock wind down now to 10 seconds. Pitts comes, or rather, Torrance comes in motion from the slot. And Irby breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he is back over midfield and down to the Auburn 44-yard line. That's a pickup of 8 by Irby, his third carry of this drive, as he almost got tripped up in the backfield, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 at the Maroons' 44. 4.5 minutes left. Ray sends 2 receivers to each side. Now Irby moves into the slot left side. Maroons show blitz. And a quick pass out here, and it is caught by Syer Torrance. The freshman goes up to pull that one down, and a first down at the Auburn 37-yard line.
Number 6 on the stop for Auburn. That's a CBA first down.
Good catch by Torrance as he elevated himself to pull that ball in and held on to it as he had the legs taken out from underneath him. 3:50 and counting to go. 1st and 10, CBA at the Maroons 47. 2 tight end set, 2 receivers near side, and Benson jumps offside.
Penalty offside called against Auburn.
As I believe, the first penalty of the second half for the Maroons.
Watch the ball, watch the ball. Come on, defense.
And it makes it 1st and 5 at the Maroons' 32-yard line as the clock winds down to 3.5 minutes left in regulation time.
Come on, Meter, you got it. You ain't got nothing, Meter. You want him, Meter?
Ray with Irby to his right, and he'll take the handoff, and he is wrapped up from behind by Connor Mahunik and gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a half a yard more.
Number 73, Brayden Crosby in on the stop for Auburn.
Crosby in on the stop as well. Three minutes left in the 4th. Brothers up by 2, looking to win their 3rd in a row after opening with 2 losses. The Maroons trying to go 4-0 on the season. Big second down here at the Auburn 31. Ray to Irby, and again he's wrapped up in the backfield. Ball's fumbled. Oh, they rule it down. Ball was recovered by Pitt Libchak, and
Scrimmage on that play.
again you got to wonder about that. Official talking to the near side official talking to the referee, and now they're coming over to the Auburn bench to talk to Dave Moskov. He thinks it was a fumble and a recovery by Pitt Libchak. And you can see the steam coming out of the ears from up here. Clock stopped with 2:16 left. CBA's called a timeout, and they're going to reset the clock. So we will take a 30-second break. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport in Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 2:26 left in regulation time. Marines trailing 14-12. We'll be back after this on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Christian Brothers Academy with a 3rd down and 5 at the Auburn 32-yard lines with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in regulation time. And the Brothers with a 14-12 lead over the Maroons. They led 14-0 at the half. Or pardon me, 14-6 at the half. And the Maroons got back to within 2 points in the 3rd quarter, missed the 2-point conversion. And a big 3rd down here for the Brothers and the Auburn defense. Here's Ray to pass. Dumps it over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Cameron Harris on the crossing pattern from his tight end, his right side tight end position. And just past his outstretched hand, so it's going to bring up 4th down. And the Maroons have forced the Brothers to turn the ball over twice already, including once in this second half, deep in Auburn territory. And another big 4th down here for the Auburn defense. Deshaun Strachan up after getting his ankle retaped, and looks like he's ready to come back in when the Maroons get back on offense. 2:23 to go. Here we go. Ray 2-step drop to the far side and incomplete. Cherney came in front of the intended receiver and got a hand up in his face. And it was freshman Syer Torrance, the leading receiver for CBA, that just dropped the ball, and credit Troy Cherney with that for a little interference that was not a penalty, and 2:19 to go, and the Maroons take over at their 32. Ball's on the near hash. Auburn going right to left. Trips right to the far side. Cherney in the gun. Over the middle, and that is caught by Zach Galbally, and he rolls out to the 38-yard line. 6-yard pickup for Galbally. Second down and 4. Cherney again the pass. Over the middle has Mahunik, and the pass is behind him. Mahunik coming in from the wideout spot, and Deshaun Strachan gets helped up off the turf, and he is not going to be able to go, as that ankle just is not holding up, and he is helped off the field once again. A tough break for Deshaun Strachan, and I mean that figuratively. He's got 2 touchdowns, and he is in a lot of pain and a lot of frustration as well. So it's 3rd and 5. The clock stopped with 1:55 to go. Maroons need 5 for a first down. 2 receivers each way. Cherney in the gun. Steps up into the pocket. Now he keeps it. He's got the first down. He's out over the 45 to the 46. 8 yards for Troy. Make it 9. And a 1st and 10 for the Maroons as the clock winds down to 1:45 to go. No huddle offense. Spread formation for the Maroons. Ball right at the middle of the field. Cherney has time. Now he steps up. Dumps it off, and it's caught by Morris.
Get on the ball, get on the ball, get on the ball.
And the picks up 7 to the CBA 47-yard line, and a timeout called, and an injury on the field as one of the Brothers' defensive linemen is down back in Auburn territory. 1:21 to go, and Auburn's going to have second down, and looks like 4 yards to go. We'll take a timeout, brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 1:21 left in the 4th quarter. You're listening to Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. 30. injured brothers player still down on the turf here at Holland Stadium as they're looking at his lower extremity. Deshaun Strachan on the Auburn bench. He's got, looks like a, well, we'll call it a lower body injury, as they do in the National Hockey League. 1:21 left in the fourth quarter. And the Maroons with a 2nd and 4 at the CBA 47-yard line. Auburn defense coming up big again, forcing the brothers to turn the ball over on downs. At the Auburn 32, Galbally with a 6-yard catch. Troy Cherney, a 9-yard run for the first down, and then an incomplete pass. And the injured player up, and that is Enzo Kassab, the junior, and he's going to be helped off by a couple of his teammates.
Come on, Seven, your game, Seven. Play your game, Seven. Go on.
All right, set to resume play. The ball
Come on, Seven, play your game.
at the CBA 47 on the far hash mark. Maroons going right to left. 3 receivers wide left on the near side of the field. Benson to the left of Cherney in the gun. And Troy fakes to Eli, dumps it off to Morris, and he gathers it up to the 40. And to the 35, and he is stacked up at the 33-yard line. It's going to be a first down. Robert almost dropped it. He bobbled the ball, but was able to grab it in, and now it looks like he's shaken up. And the clock is stopped with 1:12 to go. Morris gets up, and now he is heading off to the sideline, and that'll bring Delmar Goldsmith, the junior, off of the bench. Oh, it has been a tough half of football for both teams. And here we go. A minute left. Here's Cherney in the gun, trips right. Troy to pass.
Go Belly!
He's going for it all. And Galbally!
Let's go!
Is he in? Or are they ruling him out of bounds? Galbally with a huge catch. Touchdown Auburn! Troy Cherney and Zach Galbally as the officials get together on the far sideline. What a pass by Cherney and what a catch as Galbally then danced into the end zone from about 10 yards out. And with 53 seconds left, the Maroons go on top 18-14. 34-yard pass from Cherney to Galbally. Unbelievable.
Galbally is complete.
And the Maroons will go for 2. And Cherney gives it to Davari Agee. And Agee rumbles into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Come on, defense.
20-14, final minute of regulation time. The Maroons with their first lead of the afternoon. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back to Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Okay, all right, I'm making sure. Sure. Cross my T's, dot my I's.
Way to be, Seven. Indian River, Troy. Indian River.
Come on, let's go.
Great job, O-line. Great job, O-line.
Hit the ball. Hit the ball. Wrap up. Good job. There you go. Come on, D.
Short kick by Eli Benson, fielded by Alex Smith, and the Maroons trying to strip him of the ball, but CBA with 49 seconds left will have a first down at their 39-yard line, and during the timeout I heard fans down below yelling, Indian River, Indian River, and that touchdown drive for the Maroons, 5 plays, 68 yards, and the 34-yard perfect pass from Troy Cherney to Zach Galbally, who danced down the sidelines. The two officials looked at each other and decided he didn't step out, and that Indian River reference, of course, to that incredible come-from-behind triple overtime victory by the Maroons against Indian River, and it seems so long ago, November of 19. Easily the best high school football game I've ever seen in 25 or so plus years of broadcasting. The Maroons have rallied back, have the lead in the final minute, and the pass over the middle almost intercepted and knocked down by Isaiah Parkman, who had a pick in the first half, and that stops the clock with 46 seconds to go. Auburn's defense has come to play hard in this second half. Brothers have turned the ball over on downs 3 times here this afternoon, 2 in the second half, including their last drive, and here they are with 2nd and 10 at their 44. Ray to pass. Here comes the pursuit, and he is chased by Connor Mahunik, now dumps it off, and it falls to the turf out near midfield. Great pursuit by Mahunik as he chased Ray all the way back inside the 30. And we've got 38 seconds left, and it's 3rd and 10.
38 seconds left here in the fourth.
Maroons trailed 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Got a touchdown on an 8-yard pass from Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan in the second. Cherney to Strachan, 36 yards in the third. And Galbally with the 34-yard catch and run here in the fourth. 3rd down. Ray over the middle, and that is caught. Good catch by Amari Pitts, and he is down on the turf. He's going to be about a half a yard short of the first down marker, and the clock stops with 31 seconds left as Pitts is down on the field, and we'll take another timeout, brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. Back after this injury timeout, you're listening to Auburn football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Now it appears that it's a first down.
Wow.
They gave it to him. They did. No timeouts left, right? 0.
Well, the officials gave Amari Pitts enough for the first down. It looked like he had come down to the turf about a yard or so short. And he is now sitting up at the Auburn 45-yard line. We have 31 seconds left in regulation time. The Maroons lead 20-14. And CBA has a 1st and 10 at the Auburn 46.
Come on, defense!
Each have one. Each have one. Each have one.
Come on, Meter, make a play, Meter!
What a wild finish to this one. Auburn gets the ball on downs at their 32-yard line. They go 68 yards in 5 plays. The touchdown pass from Cherney to Galbally, and the 2-point conversion by Agee. And here we go with 1st and 10 for the brothers. Trips right and got a false start by the inside of the CBA line, so they'll back it up to the brothers' 49, and it'll be 1st and 15. No time off the clock, still 31 seconds to go.
Come on, defense!
Keep an eye on it. It's at 13 right now.
Game clock winding down to 10 seconds as the brothers come out of the huddle. They send trips right to the near side.
Guys, no, I don't know why he switched.
Ray to pass, two-step drop to the left side, and it is Torrance with the catch, and he'll step out of bounds at the Auburn 39-yard line, so he's going to be 3 yards short of the first down, but it stops the clock with 26 and a half seconds to go. And it is now second down and 3. Maroons have to be careful defensively. They want to keep the receivers in front of them, but they don't want to give them too much room. 26 and a half seconds to go. Again, trips right to the near side. Irby to the right of Ray. Ray, three-step drop. Here comes the blitz. And he's got some running room. He's to the 30, first down and more, and he steps out of bounds at the 29-yard line with 19 seconds to go. As the blitz came from the right side, and Irby went right around them and picks up the first down. Going to mark him out at the 29. 19 seconds. Play clock winding down, under 30. Lots of time for the brothers. Ball on the far hash, again trips right to the near side. Irby comes in motion, hitch pass out to him. Takes it on the shoulder, and he is kept out down in bounds. And CBA takes their last time out with 12.9 seconds to go, and they're going to have a second down and 8 from the Auburn 27-yard line. When we come back after this 30-second break, the timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. This is Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Timeout, CBA.
It is nail-biting time with 12.9 seconds left in regulation time. Two receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Ray naked in the backfield. Going to the far corner and nowhere near Torrance. And the incomplete pass stops the clock with 8 seconds left. Brings up third down and 8.
It'll bring up third down with 8 seconds left.
Auburn gets their first lead of the afternoon here in the final minute. And the defense trying to get the fans cranked up, and the Maroons are going to take a timeout. 8.1 seconds to go, and we'll step aside. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. Auburn 20, CBA 14. Back after this on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Well, the fans here at Holland Stadium being treated to a wild finish to the final home game of this truncated season. And it could come down to this. 8.1 seconds to go. CBA with a 3rd and 8 at the Auburn 27-yard line. Perhaps a chance for 2 plays. depending how long it takes to get this one off. Ray to pass. And he's going for it all, and it is incomplete.
2 seconds.
2 seconds to go. And it was Deshaun Strachan, bad ankle and all, who knocked it away from Sire Torrance in the near corner of the end zone on the far side. And Strachan coming off of the bench. And that's going to bring up 4th down. 2.3 seconds left. Ball just inside the near hash. 3 receivers to the left for the brothers, 2 to the right. Here comes the blitz. Ray to the near corner of the end zone. Tipped by A.G. Demetrius Herndon. And the Auburn Maroons celebrate a come from behind 20-14 victory over the CBA brothers to remain undefeated at 4-0. What a game. What a second half by the Maroons. Trailing 14-6 at the half. And they put 3 touchdowns on the board, the third one coming in the final minute on a 34-yard catch and run from Troy Cherney to Zach Galbali. And a 2-point conversion by Davari Agee, and the Maroons are now 4-0 on the season and will go to Fayetteville Manlius next Wednesday night for the season ender. We'll step aside for 3 minutes and come back and wrap things up on Senior Day at Holland Stadium. This is Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. You're listening to Maroons football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. Oh, I hope I got that touchdown. And we are underway on the Senior. Oh.